guys. Hopefully y'all can see that gauge. Let's see, we got a bunch. Alright. Now we need to go this way with it. Take up some of that lash. See, on anything else, if you had that much, you'd have to take the whole pinion out. But let me get set up here and I'll show you how to do this part. Got about 11. It's too much. That's how you do that. Loosen this side up a little bit. Push this side in over here a little bit and get a little more less into it. Yeah, it's hard to do with one hand. Anyway, got the backlash at 7. Can't do it with one hand. Shoot. Alright guys, this has been a challenge to try to film this and do this by myself. So we got the backlash at 6, or it's actually 7, and we're going to see where it's cutting at in the teeth. Alright. Alright guys, to get your paint on there, that's what you want to be seeing. See that line down at the bottom? That's the bottom of the cut. It's all uniform. When you put your paint on your pinion, you've seen it everywhere, how you do that. That's what you want to see. Straight cut across the bottom, coming out the end. And see in the middle right here, let me get something to point with. I've made a mess. Those ring gears, these ring gears, these aftermarket ring gears, got 2 holes in them. I want to tell y'all that too. 2 different mounting holes. So when you're doing this, check that out too. Let's see if I can see where I see. Right here, that line, that's your cut line. That's what you want to see in it. But I didn't get much film yesterday. I had, you know, a lot of people just come over, and you can't. I need a bunker. I mean, I like my friends and everything, don't get me wrong, but it's hard to film this stuff. What you do, knock your races out, your old ones. There's spots right down there to do it. I showed y'all that, I think, I got some more videos. This is getting all cut up, but we're about ready to set it back up, and I'll try to show you all that today. Today's Sunday, but I got a problem we got to deal with first. These teeth, which this is common. You have to do this with the 488s, 456s when you use a lunchbox locker. You got to come right here, take the edge of those teeth down, so you can get your pin in. See, I don't want to go. I don't like doing that. Beat myself up yesterday a while about it, because that's just not the way I do things, but it works. You just have to take just a little bit off that edge there at the top, and if you look where it cuts into it, you know, it's coming out right there at that top anyway. See if it'll focus. You see that very top edge? You see on that one? See right here? Find my finger. See right there at the top of that edge? It's not really touching. Right there, right there. So we can take it down that little bit, and I think that'll be enough on them 2, and then it won't affect our teeth. But I want to apologize to you guys. I was going to put video up last night, but I had a company come over 2 or 3 times yesterday, and had a Christmas party to go to last night that I'd forgotten about, and my wife's work, and it's hard to film this stuff and get something done. But I set it up with the one shim that came with it, which is 25 thousandths thick. This one here, the one that came out of the carrier, the stock one. That one there, y'all seen it. Now if you wanted to use your new shims, you just measure that. You stick it in there and measure it, and it's 25 thousandths. And then here you got some 10s and 20s and stuff like that. You measure each one of them until you get the right thickness. I'm going to use the factory one. And if you buy some gear sets, your kits don't come with shims, so you'd have to use this anyway. It all went well. It went right together and stuff, and I'm going to mock it up one more time. I'm going to try to clean this paint off and try to film it for you guys. Maybe today we'll get some peace. Other than that, what else? I was going to tell y'all one more thing too that I didn't say yesterday. You also want to take your old, I didn't say this because I had it already, didn't have to go buy it, but your old upper, you got an inner and outer pinion bearing. The inner will be the big bearing, the outer will be the smaller bearing. Well, grind out your smaller bearing too, where it'll slip down on there. It'll make life a lot easier on you when you're putting it together. And then when you get it all set up, you can press your new stuff on and put her together. But it went right together, guys. You have your adjusters in here. You adjust it in and out to get your backlash. And it's not hard on this one. The Dana 30 is going to be harder than this. This was pretty straightforward. Put it together just like it came apart type of thing. And that's how most of this stuff goes. Put it together exactly how it come apart. The same shims, and it worked out good. I'm gonna see if I can't get back started on this thing and figure some way to film it. And we'll see y'all back here in a bit. I'm gonna set my camera up here. Alright guys, we're getting on. Be honest with y'all, I about lost it yesterday when I realized I was going to have to do this. Because any other thing I've ever done, that is not how you do something. But that's how you got to do it. Just take a little bit off of it and yeah. It looks fucking scary, don't it? It's either buy a $630 locker or do this. And I'm not sure, you don't have to do this on one of them. I doubt it, but you might. Alright, let me take a little bit more off of it. I'm taking just as slight as bit as I can off of it. Doing shit like this. My buddy Justin did his, and most people grind 2 teeth off on this side from what I could research, but we're going to do one over here because I can get it in this side, and I'll just put the pin onto the other side by manipulating it. I'll make some more here in a minute. You know, my grandpa I was telling y'all about, that's 90-something years old, would be telling me right now, what in the hell are you doing? But that ain't too bad, you know. Let's see if I can get the focus on it. Not too bad. Get the pin where it'll go in. If you do it on the other side, you gotta do 2 of them that way. we go. Anyway guys, that one shim in there, you don't see your cut pattern. Looks pretty damn good. We're going to set it back up. I bumped it right there a little bit, but when you're modifying stuff, you know, hot rods and Jeeps and drag cars or whatever, you got to do some shit that seems crazy to you, but it always seems to work out. I did not want to do this. That's why the video didn't come up last night. You know, I was about to send it all back or order a carrier for it, but you know, y'all gonna run into this stuff, so I figured I'd be the guinea pig on it. There's a lot of guys already did this though. It ain't like it's brand new, something I found out, and it works. Alright, I'm gonna see if I can get this back in here and see how it's tracking like that, see if it's making any kind of noise or anything. Alright guys, I'll show y'all something. You see them rough marks? See where it runs out and stuff? Little witness marks is what I call them. You can see where that pinion was turning on there, right? That's what you want to see. See the shiny spot down there at the bottom? See how it ran clean and true all the way down it? That's what you want to see on that paint. And also you can look at your factory gear. You knew it was running good. See how it's nice and true and straight down through there too? How it's getting all the tooth. Now it's missing some up here, missing some down here because this is such a wide gear, but you know, you look at that and say, alright, that's how it was running from the factory. And when you set it up and you look down in there and you see that same deal, that's what you're looking for. You know, all them settings and stuff you do is to get that and that paint. That way it's quiet and it lasts. Alright, I'm going to get the ring gear in there. Alright guys, here we go. This is what we got. It's just all roughly in there. When you're putting these caps on, these threaded inserts that go in there, as you set that cap down, the cap has threads, the housing has threads. So when you set it down in there, you always got to make sure it's turning good and stuff before you know, basically what you do is just hand tighten these for now to set your backlash. But see, we got like 50 or 50 thousandths. Alright, we take ratchet through there into the nut with the tool I showed you in the beginning. Give that a little crank. Let's try that much. Okay, 45. Let's give it a little bit more. Alright. Pretty good bit. Alright. 30. Alright, we're coming up on the other side of it. Took 20 thousandths out of it. Okay, now you have to go, we're up against this side, this threads. So we got to go on this side, turn it out a little bit. Let me pause you. Okay, we're on the other side. Let's go ahead and back it out a little bit. Out. Right there. Get on the other side. Alright, back on the other side. About 10. can tell. A little bit more. See, I got it. I didn't show y'all that. It's just on that bolt there. You got to get you one of these magnetic bases, and you ain't got to buy an expensive one or nothing. 10. I think we're about to be tight on this side. Okay. Alright, let's loosen the other side up. Back on this side. It's a dance. You just got to keep back and forth till you get it. Let's go quarter turn. Getting close. Too much. Alright, let's back it up. Just reverse it back. That's 4. I know y'all can't see that. It don't ever want to show up, but we got that's 0 and that's 10 over there that you can't see. But we're right at 6, right at 7. So that'll work. Put the paint on there, show you how that works. That's all you need. Take your brush. Alright. Turn it up where I can get to the pinion. Now when you turn this over, you're only going to hold your hand on the ring gear while you're spinning the pinion. That way you're holding pressure on it. You know, go several times around forward, several times around reverse. I'm going to do that now. There's the cut marks. See how down in there it is? That's good. I'm going to get some grease and put on it. That's how I've always done it. I don't use this paint usually. So I'll get some grease and put on it and see if it shows up a little better. You get you some white food grade grease. This little food grade stuff. It makes your paint like triple what you had. Well, shit, you can have an endless supply of paint, and it's greasy, so it smears a little bit better. And if you keep this in your Jeep, getting a bad time, you can eat it. Alright. Let's see how much paint it makes if you use that white grease. Alright, we got some schmoo on there now. I'm gonna see if I can get something to spin this thing with a little faster, drill or something, where we can really see what it's doing and see if it's making any noises or anything. It's kind of hard. Yeah, you could do it under the Jeep that way too. And that grease will also help it from clanging and making weird noises. It's going to freak you out and go like, well, it's going to clank and make noises. Get some grease in there to kind of take up the slack a little bit and lube it. I'm going to spin it over and we'll see what it looks like. I'm going to call that a little high. I'm going to add about This is the art of it, what I was talking about. Looking at this, but see that there? That's good. That's good. We got full tooth contact from front to rear. It's not at an angle. It's flat straight across. If it was too shallow or something, you'd see it at an angle instead of it being straight across the bottom of that tooth. That's good. It looked a little high on the other ones, but no, that's good. That's what you want to see. So now, take it all apart, clean it all up, put your new wheel bearings in, press in the pinion bearing, set all this up like you did before. I know it wasn't step-by-step detail, guys, but I got to do this by myself, so it makes it hard. But drive your old races out, put new races in, put your setup bearings in, put your old crush sleeve in where you can get your preload. All your preload is you tighten your bolt up front until you get, I think it was 24 inch-pounds, which would be 2 foot-pounds. And on your torque wrench like this, or when you're turning it, you can see the gauge moving a couple foot-pounds, and it should be good to go. Alright guys, I'm out.